Baggedmilk, how you doing, my friend?
Hello.
There we
go. We did
it. We recovered. Everyone's still learning out this Zoom thing. I'm sure we'll figure it out in about 10 years.
I was going to say we're on Zoom with Baggedmilk, so you can watch this afterwards.
Yeah, no one's wanking off on this one, though, so we're good.
And you're actually recording this time.
Yeah, I am. I think I am, yeah. Anyway,
It's mistakes like this that'll help Skype get back in the game, you know?
whatever happened to old Skype, eh?
You know, they really dropped the ball is what they did.
We should chat about Mike Smith and I just get the goaltending thing out of the way. There's a lot of speculation that they'll make a move on Grandpa Smith there, right?
I don't know, man. Like, I know that the Oilers fan in me wants an upgrade in goaltending, but whether or not they actually do it, I just don't know. I feel like based on some interviews that Ken Holland has done recently, he seems confident with his goaltending group, and that includes Stuart Skinner as that third person. So whether or not that's actually true, we'll see, because we're less than 2 weeks away from the trade deadline at this point. But I honestly, Locke, I don't know that they're going to make a trade for a goalie. I think he's made his bet on this one.
Wow. Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye on that. I would be surprised if something. I think that's just the thing you need to say, to the press, right? No,
that's
we're
true.
good.
That's true. I will 100% buy that too. I haven't seen any creativity to this point in terms of trades and player movement that makes me feel comfortable and going, yeah, I think this is going to get done.
I saw Cam wrote an article on Oilers Nation that Varlamov isn't coming here from the Islanders. He won't waive his no trade clause for Edmonton. So
yeah, that was one of the options because he has an extra year signed at $5 million. So some people thought, hey, you know what? He's a solid goaltender. He's played well for the Islanders. Maybe he could be a fit. But if he's not going to waive, then it's kind of a moot point. So yeah, that's where we're at.
Evander Kane. Are we at the point now where we're discussing whether or not it's a good idea to keep him around to lock that up?
That's a really interesting question, to be honest. I'd love to know what the organization's thinking about it, because to this point, through 18 games, he's scored 8 goals, 6 assists for 14 points. So he's doing everything on the ice that you want Evander Kane to do. He's fit in perfectly. He's added some sauciness onto the lineup that's desperately needing it. He's the only guy that seems to be chirping. I liked him popping Kachuk in the mush the other night. Like, I love all that stuff that he does. Whether or not he would actually want to re-sign here, I think that's a different question. I also don't know how many options he's going to have in terms of people that would be willing to give him a chance. But so far here in Edmonton, he's done everything the team has needed him to. So I could absolutely see them trying to see if there's interest from his part. I just don't know how much there would be. I think that even with what happened this season with the Sharks, he's going to have a list of teams that would be welcoming to him in the offseason.
And then how do they fix the special teams? It's like we have a list of things the team.
We have to head out into the streets and find some kind of sacrifice for the hockey gods or something, because it is dark. It is like an anchor around their neck, dragging them to the bottom of the ocean. The other day, I made the analogy of the Oilers are like Jack in Titanic, and the special teams are Rose, and she refuses to move off from that door and let him on. Now he's sinking to the bottom of the ocean. But I really don't understand it, because if you had told me in October, the Oilers power play is going to look abysmal in March, I would have never believed you. It was basically a coin flip at that point. So I really don't know what's going on. It's basically the same people outside of some injuries here and there. Yeah. So I really don't get it.
Yeah, if you look at the numbers, like Nuge makes a little bit of a difference.
Sure.
But
Puljujärvi too as a net front, but like Draisaitl and Leon are still there, but like, why can't they get into the zone? Why can't they get set up? Why do they only seem to have that one play they're trying with the cross ice pass to Draisaitl? Like, I don't get it. It's very confusing right now.
I think they're a little just tight on the stick, right? They're
super tight on the stick.
Yeah. They got to let things flow. Just have a little bit of fun. And I thought Woodcroft was doing that for the team, but they're sort of back into that rut that they were in. That lost Tippett is his gig.
Well, the interesting thing about the Oilers right now is they're playing much better at even strength. At 5-on-5, Jay Woodcroft has them playing significantly better than they were before. But the power play, the special teams, the penalty kill, they've all been horrible. And that's sinking their game right now. Like the game of the other night against Calgary. I don't think that Calgary was so fantastic that they just walked away from that. But the Oilers went 0 for 4 in the power play. They gave up goals on the PK. That ultimately ended up the difference. So they need to figure that out, or else they're in real trouble.
And a heads up on the game tonight, Baggedmilk. It's a 6 o'clock start. Normally, when we have a home game, we you know, we're a little bit later, but we got a 6 o'clock puck drop tonight.
Capitals are in town. Time to play hooky from work. Bail early.
Yeah, is it Boo Ovechkin night?
I don't know what's going to happen there.
There's been some talk about that.
I'm interested to see that too. That's a good question. It's going to be an interesting one to watch.
I think they were like, you can't boo him just because he's Russian, but then they looked at who he follows on Twitter, and it's like only Putin and
a couple of oligarchs.
So everyone's like, I'm booing who he follows on Twitter.
All right, there you go, Baggedmilk from Oilers Nation. Thank you for your time today, my friend.
Thanks, boys.
The Locker Room.
Brought to you by Always Plumbing and Heating.
Weekday mornings on 95.7 Cruise FM.